I cannot believe that is an actual scene in a Marvel film. What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Ben and today I'll be checking out Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania. Now when I first saw this in the cinemas, I thought it was fine, but now that time has passed, I truly see how terrible this film is. I mean, yes, it has some good moments, but it's just not enough to redeem this train wreck of a film. With that said, I hope you guys do enjoy this video, and if you do, please remember to like and subscribe. It really helps the channel to grow. Also in August, we'll be coming up to our 1 year anniversary of the channel, and I'd just love it if we could reach 1,000 subscribers by then. And if you do enjoy my content and you want to help support the channel, I do have a Patreon, the link will be in the description. Over there I'm uploading these videos and the full commentary a week in advance, so if that's something you're interested in, feel free to check it out. With that said, let's just get into it. I cannot believe I'm watching this thing for a second time. So I don't get why they changed the quantum realm so much. I mean, the sky looks fine here. I'm not sure where that went. Like, this looks good. The creatures just don't match the idea of it. Those are horses. They don't seem tiny. I guess they're horse snails? It doesn't seem like it fits in with this tiny world. And off she runs. This is definitely Janet's movie. There's no, like, arguing that, right? This wasn't, like, Hope's movie. This was Ant-Man and Janet Van Dyne, the Wasp movie. There are definitely other people down in the quantum realm that live here, right? But this is the first time she's seeing anyone else, so where did the other people come from? Now, these things definitely seem more quantum realm-esque. They feel like viruses, but like they're phasing. It's like, it feels like they kind of just shoved anything in here and let it work, like whatever these things are when they're weird powers. And there he is, Kang the Conqueror.
What is this place?
Definitely Kang should not have been introduced in an Ant-Man film. I think that was a huge mistake.
Thank you, Spider-Man!
See, there are some funny moments, but we'll get to the bad bits.
A lot of people say they want to save the world, but Hope, she saves it every day. Affordable housing, food production.
Cool. Ugh. Why? I mean, that scene just looks bad, right? Why do they have nano suits? And the way it it does not look good. Why can't we have like actual suit ups again? I mean, nanotech looks fine for some characters, but Ant-Man and the Wasp? Really?
Will I be there when the Avengers need me? Absolutely. I'd never turn my back on them. But right now, the only job I want is being a dad.
Not a big ask. That's perfectly reasonable. Still don't get why Cassie villainizes him for just wanting to be a dad.
You shrank a cop car?
What was I supposed to do? Look the other way? They were clearing out a homeless camp in the middle of the night. It's not their fault that they lost their homes in the blip.
And what happened with Cassie? This doesn't feel like the same Cassie from the other two movies. It feels like a huge disconnect.
Am I the Hulk's baby?
Dad, are you listening to your own book?
This is the radio.
Turn it
It's
off.
so weird.
See, I do like their dynamic. They do feel like a good little family here.
No pizza in the quantum realm.
No anything.
Can talk about it.
I spent 30 years down there. I want to live right now.
You'd have saved so much time if you like said, oh no, there's something very bad down there. And just left it at that. Tell them to leave it alone. There's something very bad down there. Don't touch it.
But I don't want you wasting your life.
At least I'm still trying to do something with mine.
I literally saved the world.
Exactly. He should be allowed to be a dad and want to talk, like, trying to raise his daughter.
People still need help, Dad. At least we're trying to do something that matters.
He saved the universe. I mean, come on.
You've been studying the quantum realm.
Mm-hmm.
Why didn't you ask me about it?
You don't talk about it.
Cassie's just been curious, and we gave her some pointers.
You know how dangerous the quantum realm is.
No, they don't really, because you don't talk about it.
You're sending a signal down to the quantum realm. Shut it down. Now.
Say why.
You have to turn it off!
Say why.
There's something I should have told you.
Yeah, bit late now. And here we go. So did they use Pym particles in that thing? Like, they never explained how that device enables them to travel down there. Like, we know it's MODOK that does it, but MODOK doesn't have access to Pym particles. That means they have to have... And why would they put those in there anyway? See, the transition to get in there is very cool. All the very, like, biological look of it. That's quite good. Then we get to basically this, which just is like another dimension or space. It doesn't feel like it's a tiny world. It's very clearly what. Like, all of this you could find normal scale. Kind of just ruins, like, the idea of a tiny dimension, I guess. I mean, the sky at least looks familiar, because the sky's obviously from Avengers Endgame. But the rest of it, it just feels like it's regular world size. There's nothing. I mean, this looks like an alien planet. It doesn't feel tiny.
Do not move. We need to find Scott and Cassie.
And she very quickly kicks into survival mode after the whole idea of having trauma behind not being able to talk about it. You'd think she'd react a little differently. Maybe more terrified and a bit frantic. But she's like straight into it and straight knows what to do, gets them to safety.
Is that sun moving?
Like, what even is that thing? What would you describe it on like a molecular scale? Is it a parasite? Is it just a cell? What is it? I think that it's just a tiny sun with tentacles. And that doesn't fit in with the scale of everything. See, that looks more biologically weird or whatever that thing is. That looks like a bacteria cell. That works. But the rest of it just doesn't. And then these lot.
Quantum people in the quantum realm.
How does that even work?
Then make me trust you.
Let's just calm down, all right? We can talk about
We don't have time to talk, Henry.
You kind of do.
Listen, I told you to stay away from here.
You're talking about it now.
I should have told you what we were doing. I had no idea.
I know.
This feels like enough time to talk about it.
Stick together, find Scott and Cassie, and we go home, okay?
They're still talking. That felt like so much time. They could have easily said, okay, there's a very bad man down here. He could kill us all and wants to get out and destroy the universe.
The secret universe beneath ours.
See, that kind of better explains, I guess, a secret universe beneath theirs. But that way, you're sort of losing the smallness of it, because it's basically saying it's another universe that happens to be beneath yours. Not smaller than yours or a shrunken version of it. It's just another universe.
Cassie!
Drink the ooze.
What?
How is she immediately friends with them? They're so aggressive to him. Like, she's just standing there and is one of them straight away. And the biological machinery looks cool. So much for being totally terrified and traumatic about this place, just laughing with the inhabitants. It's so odd, she feels so comfortable down here, even though she was so petrified of even the mention of it. Oh, this guy was so weird.
I don't know what you're saying!
You feel more like an inhabitant here. If they had like sentient ones of those things, that works. Sentient slime, that can work on any scale. But people being down here, that implies somehow they got down here millions of years ago and then became just inhabitants. Because these are clearly like actual human beings. It's so nasty.
You can read minds?
Yeah, and I really wish I couldn't.
You were so wasted in this.
You a spy?
What? No.
We should torture him.
Guys, no, it's okay. We're not spies.
Why did they immediately trust her?
This is the quantum realm, and you have to shrink to get in the quantum realm,
from
so
its
we
bigger.
shrunk, and right now
Bigger,
we're really small.
Okay, they're telling the
See,
truth.
why does he have to ask that question though? He could just read their minds and see that they're bigger.
So he is hunting you. He will burn the world to find you.
Who?
The Conqueror.
See, I will say Kang is probably the best part of this movie. He was good. Of course, he was very outshone by the High Evolutionary recently, but yeah, we'll see what happens with like the whole controversy going on at the minute. But yeah, that's like, you can't argue that he wasn't the best part of this.
There are beings down here, intelligent beings.
See, that electric thing, that works in the context of this universe.
That guy looks like broccoli.
And that does not. That is literally just broccoli. How is that meant to be in a literal tiny universe?
Follow me.
And this scene sort of feels more like Star Wars now. Like the alien bar stuff, like a bunch of different species hanging out. It's almost like they didn't know what they wanted the quantum realm to be, so they just shoved as much random stuff they could in there.
How exactly do you know this guy?
Freedom fighter, friend of mine. Trust me, he can help.
Even now, you could talk about what you went through. This is a good length of time to discuss the guy down here. Here comes the glorified cameo.
You have to be whole. Talked about you every day.
She never said anything about you.
Well, I don't think I would have told my kid either.
They've been getting some.
Is anyone starving? I'm starving. Boys,
now.
And a lot of this dialogue is just a little bit useless because like his scene in the end doesn't really amount to much.
They don't know anything about anything.
Then get them out of here.
So you could read their mind and see who they were the entire time.
Is that building alive? Yours are dead?
That bit's a little funny. Like, examining the culture of these people. Their buildings are alive, so they must assume that whatever you have is dead.
What happened here? Conqueror burned our homes, our stories. He built his citadel on the bones of our people.
Okay, good. Setting up how powerful this character is. Yet, he's going up against Ant-Man.
What I need to do is get you home.
Why don't you want to help?
We don't know anything about this place. I mean, I don't even know how time works down here.
That's sensible. You have no idea what this place is. You have no idea how it could be affecting your biology. And he should be worried about his daughter. That's completely fine. I don't get how they try and justify him
This is not our fight.
being, I don't know, just they're vilifying him for caring about his daughter more than random people he doesn't know. I think that's perfectly justifiable.
No one knows this place better than Janet.
What did you say?
How could Quaz not read their mind and realize they knew who Janet was?
Are you not human?
Not technically, but yes. In the ways that matter.
The biology just confuses me.
If I remember correctly, you left all of us with him.
Janet, what is he talking about?
You didn't tell them about him.
Nope, she had plenty of time to, but just didn't.
He sent the hunter.
What kind of hunter?
A mechanized organism designed only for killing.
MODOK. Yep, I have plenty of thoughts about him.
What happened to you? We fought against him.
This doesn't have that big of an impact as I think they were trying to go for. This guy was once her, like, comrade in arms, but it was just talking, and there's also too much going on to actually let this scene and character have an impact.
Can that ship get us out of here?
Cover me?
Always.
I do love these two. They are such a good couple. With Krylar, I'm pretty sure that in a plot leak or something, he originally had way more to do, and in the end he basically turned on Kang and became a good guy and sort of redeemed himself. I think that would have been much better, and it would have added so much more to this character, to that scene. But right now, it's just... it feels like a bit of a waste. It's more filler than anything. All this accomplished was them getting a ship and travelling somewhere. And this didn't accomplish much in the grand story, or the dialogue was either to discuss Janet's past, which would have been better to see.
Take them as far away from here as you can.
Why?
If you're looking for Janet, he's looking for you.
Yep, see, she's smart at least. She knows what's coming. See, you've got a pretty strong power. Why don't you use it to take down the ships and stuff? If it can ricochet like that. I think they introduced way too many characters, way too many powers, and just didn't know what to do with it. See, that's cool. Pretty sure in the comics, Gentora was like a sorceress princess. So I do like that they like sort of kept some kind of magic-y feel to her power. I mean, why hasn't she suited up yet? You would have thought it would be one of the first things you do when this sort of battle starts. If you can, like, suit up in a snap, then why hasn't she done it?
Stay here. Oh no.
About time she puts on the suit. And how long has she had this suit? Because you'd assume she would have practiced a bit if she had it in the real world.
Okay, I have a suit.
Yeah, I noticed.
You also told him earlier.
I didn't lose the suit.
You have a suit? Wait, you have a suit?
Here he is. I will admit, this is brilliant MODOK. This is perfect. The colours for his powers, the brutalness, this is perfect. Just showing the damage he can cause, that's good. There it is.
Is someone in there?
Oh, yes. A destiny you cannot escape.
Please leave the mask on. The mask looks perfect. The mask looks exactly like it should be.
Surprised to see me?
Oh, please, I wish you kept the mask back on.
I became the ultimate weapon.
That's what this is?
There we go, mask back on. Much better.
Aaron is dead! There is only MODOK!
See, that was good. That's perfect. Crazy, floating head, yelling MODOK. That's all you needed to do for him.
And you're still hiding things from us. I am trying to protect you.
From what?
You could talk about your past experiences, but you can't talk about Kang, really. Still not got enough time.
You left Darren to die in the quantum realm, but the Conqueror found me, rebuilt me, made me the ultimate weapon. A mechanized...
See, the person who wrote this saw a picture of MODOK in the comic and thought, I wonder what his butt looks like. That's the only reason that ended up in there.
The man who took everything from me, who stole my whole life. But I did it. I found your signal, Cassie. Thanks for that, by the way. Couldn't have done it without you.
See, the ego thing, I think that works here. They got the ego for MODOK, but he isn't ugly enough. They changed too much of the character. It sometimes works, because Iron Man basically became Robert Downey Jr. That was perfect. We fell in love with Robert Downey Jr., he became the character. That was fine. Corey Stoll, I just think, didn't have enough time as in the MCU to then rework an entire kind of large comic character around the actor. I just don't think that worked well here.
Can this take us home?
It can take you anywhere.
See, the horse-snail combination, I think it just would have worked better if it was a massive snail. Almost like an elephant-sized snail.
I never met anyone like him. He felt so lost. After so many years alone, it was nice to have a friend.
Yeah, you definitely did it with him too.
I told her I was coming home. I see her by the door, waiting for me.
This scene alone just proves that this is her movie. It's Scott Lang's Ant-Man and Janet Van Dyne's Wasp. It's from her point of view, not Hope's.
I just thought I'd have more time.
I can give that to you. Time. It's not what you think it is. It's a cage. It does everything it can to break you.
So Kang is definitely a very interesting villain, because he is just human. He's gained this massive perspective of reality. Plus, he has incredibly advanced technology, so that makes a very dangerous character. I just wish we got to see how he became who he was. So we get glimpses of it, but we don't get enough.
His ship was neurokinetic, connected to his thoughts.
Yep, that works in the world, that's fine.
I saw his mind.
Yep. So what can we see here? It is just flashes. We just see him destroying things and we can't recognize what he's destroying.
Entire timelines.
Yep.
Gone.
So we're just seeing that he's an established villain. We're not seeing what made this particular Kang so interesting. We're just seeing regular villain stuff, what every Kang would do. I want to know what makes this Kang different.
Who is Kang?
So she obviously knew him by a different name. I want to know if she knew him as Nathaniel Richards, because that would create a nice comic connection. Of course, she doesn't talk about it.
He was exiled here, outside space and time.
Exiled, key thing. So it was powerful enough to exile that guy.
And because of me, he was getting out.
You saved my life. I made a promise. You should let me take you home.
So that is interesting. I want to know if he would actually have kept that deal.
What are you going to do?
The attention given off by him is excellent. And there's the armor. See, nanotech works for him. Super advanced, and that's a cool suit-up, really. Having his ship assemble his costume for him. That's cool. Ant-Man's weird, like, poof thing and it going over everything, that didn't work.
I could make it so you never left her. Hope is going to open the door, and you'll be there.
So that's a very kind thing to do. So it's interesting, like, what would he stick with the steel?
She'll never know.
And he certainly has a moral code.
Don't you want to see your daughter again?
I mean, he has everything right now. He could leave now, but he's actually trying to convince her to go with him.
Why do you think you could stop me?
I do love the helmet. I love that we're seeing her in, like, the classic Wasp suit. Again, that just further proves it's her movie.
I'm sorry, Hope.
So you know this Kang isn't at full power yet, because he could easily just freeze time and stop all of this. Like, that was perfect to show her heroic intentions. Sacrificing her own happiness to save others. Perfect. Again, this is probably the start. Because we never really saw what she's done as a hero. With Scott, it's a little different, because he saved the world and he just wants to be with his daughter. He's done the hero thing so many times already that it's understandable that you'd want to make up for the time that he lost. But yeah, he's villainized for it.
Now that he had his suit back, he became what he always was, a conqueror.
So are you saying he was at full power here? Because in this one, they never really showed his power over time, really. It's just energy. It's like a super Iron Man suit. Because I want to see Kang, like, fully in control of time. Like, being able to freeze it, fast forward it, rewind it. He'd be so powerful. Really only sorcerers and, like, the gods of Marvel could deal with him.
I'm sorry I never told you. I just wanted to forget. I just wanted to be your mom again.
Okay-ish reason, but still, when you found out, you could have talked about it sooner. Like, when you were in the Quantum Realm, you could have talked about it.
I've called the other Avengers.
You're an Avenger. Have I killed you before? They all blur together after a while. You're not the one with the hammer.
So this is interesting. So, unlike Thanos, this guy actually has gone against Avengers before and won.
Modok tells me you're a good thief.
Yeah, he stole something from me.
Do not speak when I am in the room.
So telekinesis with Kang. There are like too many villains are getting telekinesis now. High Evolution has like a variation of it with gravity control. This, I don't think Kang ever had telekinesis in the comics, did he? So it's a bit of a weird addition.
Because I know how it ends.
How what ends?
All of it. I don't live in a straight line. And with time, it's hard not to skip to the end.
Now, is that what makes him different to every other Kang? Is it the fact that he knows how it ends? Or is that just what makes a Kang a Kang? Like, what is the story of Kang the Conqueror? How did he become this? Was it the fact that he saw the end and actually had full control over time? Is that what allowed him to become Kang? Or is that what makes this Kang different to all the others? That he knows how it's all going to end and that he wouldn't stop it? Or that just affects his decisions?
You will bring me what I need. Or I will kill your daughter in front of you. Then make you relive that moment over and over again.
So is he bluffing or does he actually have that power? Because that is brilliant Kang, what Kang would do. But can he actually do that yet? Because we haven't seen him have any control over time yet.
Do I look like a liar to you?
Stop! So I'm not sure how well he showed the threatening side of this telekinesis. Basically just visually, it just looks like he lifted her up and turned her sideways. But like, if you wanted to make him seem more threatening, like, sounds harsh, but use telekinesis to break her leg or something, that would have shown his ruthlessness, and then maybe reverse time, heal it. That, I think, would have made him more of a ruthless villain. And then that visual demonstration of just maybe constricting them, I don't think it gave off the effect they were intending.
Then give me what I need.
Where is it?
And then portals. Is this Kang, like, got sorcery or something, or is that technology? It's just very ill-defined. Because Kang, I'm sure, never had that power to open a portal somewhere. I'm sure he can teleport, but the portal seems a bit off. I think it would have been more, it would have made sense if he had used the same sort of teleporter Mr. Fantastic used in Doctor Strange. Portals just felt a little weird.
Gotta hurry.
Cass just seems very dumb in this. Like, that needlessly put her, that like small action. Fine, it had like a sentimental moment where she got to hug her dad, but it just doesn't feel smart in that moment. She's being held hostage. They both are. They could easily be killed at any second. Yet she's actively, I guess, provoking the people holding her hostage. And you can't even blame it on her being a kid. She's grown up. She's had to be an adult for the last 5 years being alone. So she's obviously mature enough. So I don't get why she's making those stupid decisions. I mean, visually, this is just kind of too much. It's very messy, and you almost get lost in what is actually happening here.
MODOK, can you hear me?
What?
What do I do? What's the plan?
Don't die?
See, that, again, that doesn't feel like MODOK. MODOK would have a plan. He'd be yelling at Ant-Man, "You're doing it wrong. Do it this way." That is more kind of the MODOK I want. This crazy, sadistic maniac.
Why am I looking at another me? I'm not another me. You're another me.
You're looking at the possibility of another you.
Okay, not variants.
So I am the real one, huh? No, I didn't say that. What the hell?
From my understanding, this is just the same Ant-Man that entered in. The probability of what he could do next after this. Every choice he could make after he got here.
I'm the real one.
Whoa, guys, hey, relax.
Then how does this guy get here?
We'll figure this out together.
How would a Baskin-Robbins Ant-Man get into this probability field? I'm just not sure how that fits into all this. So I think with the Baskin-Robbins thing, that almost loses the idea that there's a probability field, or is it just his variance? Because his probability, it would have been every decision he made after he entered.
What is it?
Don't look at them. They're just possibilities.
Just possibilities. Exactly. You can have a future possibility, but it can't be a past possibility.
Why am I here?
Exactly, why are you here?
What are you? Wait, no! I got this!
I do like that he's the only one that is without masks. It makes it easier to follow who is the original Ant-Man.
Dad, just come back one more time.
Let's do it together! Let's get him up! Get him up!
They're all unifying over Cassie, right? So that means it would have to be probability. Because the Ant-Man that entered here had Cassie. There would be a variant out there who doesn't have Cassie. So that is how they can unify. But that doesn't work with the multiverse thing. Because there would be a variant of Ant-Man that doesn't have Cassie. So I don't get how the Baskins-Robbins guy is in here. Because there has to be possibilities of Ant-Man that existed after he entered this field. You just don't make sense.
Go get her, pal.
There's no version of Ant-Man that went into the probability field and then forgot he was Ant-Man and put on Baskin-Robbins' uniform. I do like that. The wasps are unified in saving Ant-Man. That is probability. Every wasp that entered there would save Ant-Man.
You cannot give that to him.
I wouldn't trust him.
See, the background is very much... You can tell that the set is not real here. You can see a very distinct change in the ground and the sky. They use two... I just think the idea of the quantum realm wasn't that fleshed out well visually.
Oh, well, if it isn't my old mentor.
See, with the mask on, he looks great. That is a good MODOK design.
I am the ultimate weapon!
I'm pretty sure in the comics, MODOK can like take control of any technology thing. Right, that would have made a much more interesting story, and it would have given the heroes much more of a struggle if he could control them using their suits. That's taking control of technology. I just wish he was technopathic and that he could use his mind to just affect the heroes' suits, I guess. Time control? Or is this just telekinesis?
Let's see.
Her eyes moving is telekinesis, not time control.
When you touched my mind, what did you see?
His presence is very powerful as a character. Like the way he speaks. Can't deny that Jonathan Majors was a good choice for this. It'll just be interesting to see what will happen with the stuff going on around surrounding the actor.
When you can see time the way I do, you don't get to close your eyes. I can see it's broken.
And who broke it?
Every version of me.
Interesting.
Playing with time like children.
So this is what separates him from the rest of his variants. So they mess and want to rule with it, yet this one sees how it's messing with everything.
Universes colliding. I saw the multiverse, and it was dying.
So what the current Kangs are doing, they're trying to rule the multiverse, and it's going to create the multiversal war. He's seen this and actually wants to save the multiverse. So would that make this guy more of a hero or just an anti-hero?
That's what conquerors do. They burn the broken world, and they make a new one.
There's the villain. So his variant's playing with time, messing it up, and they're messing with the multiverse and it's going to die because of them. He was trying to stop it all. But once he did, he wanted to rule it instead. He didn't want it just to run free.
Are these your ants? In the ant farm?
Yes, Scott, they're my ants.
See, I think this was a very cool idea. And they made his ants like become super intelligent. Like what they do with them sets a bad precedent.
Expanding their knowledge, their science, becoming more advanced than I could have ever thought.
See, within like maybe a couple of hours, they made a whole army of creatures that could take down a Kang.
Freeing you was basically my plan. Do you have a plan?
We need to get a message out to anyone who can still fight.
Gentor is cool, but the whole rebellion doesn't really fit well within the story. You have Kang, this unbelievably powerful character, with a rebellion? Almost makes him seem like a weak conqueror, that even allows a rebellion to exist. We know the rebellion is tiny in comparison to this whole army. They definitely needed much more development and work to even stand a chance, or to even make a believable chance against this guy.
Today, we conquer eternity and the dynasty of Kang.
Cassie.
It's very clumsy. You have very two different tones here. You have the clumsy Ant-Man stuff, then you have the very serious, powerful Kang stuff, and they don't merge well.
I know you've been waiting. Now is the time to strike. He knows he can't take all of us. Cover the town!
He probably could take all of you. He is that powerful. And the backgrounds just look so strained. It doesn't feel grand like it should feel.
Kang! We had a deal! You took my daughter!
I mean, were words necessary there? Like this, it feels almost...
Word is our bond!
It almost feels cringy.
Without that, we're
I think it would have been better if he just came in silently as a raging monster. That would have been better than just yelling stuff everyone already knows. Now this, they're obviously going for like a kaiju style monster here. But it would have worked better if he didn't speak in this part. Or he was screaming or something, just in rage. Yelling stuff just didn't work.
They came.
The rebellion still feels very small compared to everything Kang has. Because we don't see like them as a big army, we only ever see a small number of rebellion soldiers. And here it's again the same couple characters, and that's what, maybe 30, 40 people? Yeah, we see like thousands of the blue-faced dudes. That looks a bit better. Again, they're very much spaced out, and we know how many soldiers and how much weaponry Kang has.
I have holes. Holes!
Oh no. See, that's good Ant-Man comedy. That fits in with the classic Ant-Man film that we're used to. It doesn't for whatever they were trying to do here. See, I do wish they explored the dynamic between Cassie and Hope a bit more. Because that seems like a good thing to explore. Like the relationship between stepmother and stepdaughter. Because they clearly are a family. She called Hank grandpa. So I wish that we got a bit more on that. Again, wish you had control over tech.
Stop! I'm trying to be whatever this is. Don't be a dick.
It's too late. Look at me. I'm such a dick.
It's never too late to stop being a dick.
I cannot believe that is an actual scene in a Marvel film. It is so tremendously bad. Like, that actually got through development. People saw that and thought, okay, yeah, this works. This is going to be successful. I'm so glad the guy who wrote this is no longer writing the next Avengers film. I mean, I feel bad for the guy, but if this is what he's done, I'm so happy that he's not in charge of something as big as that. Also, I definitely wish that Kang did escape. I mean, he got beat, his ship got destroyed by Ant-Man. I'm not having a diss on the Ant-Man character. Ant-Man's fine as a character, but he is not powerful. That's something that you like about him. It's why you don't make Black Widow or Hawkeye super powerful, because they're strong in their own right. It's basically putting Kang against Black Widow or Hawkeye. You know they wouldn't be able to do it. And it's the same here. Ant-Man's powers are good, but not Kang level good. And it just makes Kang seem weaker than he is, that he was able to be defeated by Ant-Man. Don't you just love it when a villain shows off this unbelievably powerful one-shot attack and conveniently never uses it on the heroes? Look, he's erasing people with a blast. How come he doesn't do that to any of the important characters? You can guarantee in an Avengers film we would lose a couple from that alone. Oh no, a character I had no attachment to has died. Literally, all that character did was try and torture Cassie and Ant-Man. Yeah, they made the scene to try and have sympathy for it. I feel like this big moment, Jantora's crying, being carried away. It did not hit that well. And look at this pairing. You have 3 Ant-Man characters against Kang. This doesn't work. Now you choose to punch. Oh, you have blast? You blasted him, but it didn't disintegrate him. So Ant-Man's able to dodge all of your power, but Kang is winning. Yeah, he chooses not to blast them with his easy win weapon.
You think this is new to me?
You could literally blast him right now.
Do you know how many rebellions I have put down?
Kind of nothing stopping you right now. Just blast and you won.
How many Avengers I've killed?
We don't, because we didn't see it all. Or any of it. I was like, this is cool. This is cool. Seeing this giant army of ants. This feels like Ant-Man. Again, I feel like they could have done this on a much smaller scale with a regular sort of villain, not Kang, your next Thanos. See, this is brilliant for him. This makes him look amazing.
And I am not a dick!
Why can't you just stay a villain? Why do they keep making villains good guys? And Kang is defeated by ants. Such a great precedent it sets. Now, whenever another Kang shows up in the multiverse, just sick these ants on them. You'll have access to them now that the Quantum Realm is free. Literally, that sets a really bad example. Because now you know he can be defeated very easily. By Ant-Man.
Are you okay?
Probably not.
You're fine, you'll come back. And hopefully you'll look a whole lot uglier.
Thanks, Scott. You always were a brother to me.
No, just watching the heart rate monitor. Pretty sure when I watched this first, it didn't flatline. Also, theory about that. Might be trying to get some pin particles.
And at least I died an Avenger.
Even if it's just a confused statement, I still wish you just stayed a villain. Abomination, MODOK, why can't we just have these guys stay villains? Your heartbeat is still going. It's still going. Your heart rate was still going. He's still alive. He'll come back.
Where are you? I'm in the tower. I think.
Okay, I kind of look flatline then. He'll be fine. Also, don't get the whole portal thing. Because like they shrunk to get in here, yet they're going to walk out and not change size. So that kind of ruins my immersion a little, that this is the tiny universe. It makes it feel like it's just another dimension. This could be the dark dimension for all we know. I wish they like grew and we saw them grow out of the quantum realm. And they do it a little here, but it's still going through a portal. And they didn't need that to get in there. And the fact that he survived the ants and fights Scott now arguably makes the ants this whole thing worse. Because if he just survived the ants, that'll be fine. It means he's capable and he's now lived, I guess. He wasn't defeated and he managed to break free, which he did. But now he's going to get beaten by Ant-Man. Not even Ant-Man, he can't even shrink anymore. This is just a man now. I mean, Kang has his own martial arts. He's a trained fighter, a conqueror. He's been through many battles. You should be able to easily take Ant-Man. It shouldn't even be a challenge for him. And it really shouldn't take this long for Kang to kill Ant-Man.
But you thought you could win.
See, they set it up so well to think that Kang is going to win. That he is a powerful villain. And here comes Hope. With the one important thing she does this entire movie. And Kang was defeated by a few stingers and punches. But he's obviously not dead. And there we go. White light, he's become a Beyonder. Easy.
Ow! Ow! Sorry. No, don't let go. Don't let go.
This is good. This is a great moment. I kind of wish the movie ended here.
You came back.
And actually had some consequence. He was stuck in the Quantum Realm with Wasp. That works. And then it gave her a lot more to do. And it shows they both made a sacrifice. I mean, this could have been the ending. Quantum Realm celebrating Kang has been defeated. But it at least gives consequences and a sacrifice or something that the heroes lose. They're now trapped in here. But this time Scott isn't alone. That's good ending. And here's what ruins it. And there we go. No one lost anything. Breaks the rule of the trinity of Marvel films, where the characters lose something.
He was getting out and he didn't get out. He also said something bad was coming.
There we go.
Everyone would die if he didn't get out.
Mm-hmm.
So did I just kill everyone? Is everyone gonna die because of me?
Setting up some PTSD, some fear.
You know what? It's probably fine.
And again, that they're trying to sort of make him into the Iron Man of this saga. Iron Man, after the first Thanos attack, he had the PTSD and he was constantly preparing for everything, knowing the new threat was coming. Ant-Man, they're trying to do the same thing. He's faced Kang once, he knows something worse is going to come. But he's a weaker character than Iron Man. So if you have Iron Man who's scared of something, okay, that's a good threat. If Kang is meant to be stronger than Thanos, and you're using Ant-Man to show the fear, it makes Kang look weaker than Thanos, because it's just Ant-Man who's afraid of him. And he also beat him. So it just really undercuts Kang's power. What you needed was to introduce Kang against a way more powerful hero. Thor, Captain Marvel, Doctor Strange. Those characters, if they're afraid of him, that way you know he's even worse than Thanos. See, here we go. Now they're actually all using Reed Richards' teleportation thing.
If it wasn't true, I wouldn't call you.
Must really eat you up that you're not the one who killed him.
of us killed him?
And I see Immortus, Ramata, and I think Scarlet Centurion, or probably Purple Centurion.
How many did you call?
All of us.
Okay, so every single one of you is Jonathan Majors. We got He Who Remains, more Kangs. Well, that is not how you do multiverse. You should be using different actors here. Spider-Man No Way Home did it right. The multiverse shows off that anything's possible. Yet, they messed it up in Doctor Strange, where every Doctor Strange variant was Benedict Cumberbatch. And now they've kind of shot themselves in the foot, and, well, Marvel's probably praying that the Jonathan Majors court case proves him innocent, so they don't have to mess with any of this stuff. Because now, if they do have to recast, this messes all of that up. And they should have just included some other actors in there. Because, yeah, that is not how the multiverse works. Now, what's also interesting is that sets up the Council of Kangs and why they're targeting 616. And, like, that specific universe. Because Ant-Man defeated, apparently, the one that was too dangerous for even them. So, if Ant-Man of all characters defeated the most dangerous Kang that all of the Kangs feared and needed to exile, what does that say about the Council of Kangs? Probably means they're not as powerful as him. So we know a threat is coming, but it wasn't as big as a threat that Ant-Man could defeat. It just really dulls down the stakes of what's actually happening to the main universe.
Pi is everything.
Victor Timely. Here we go.
You made him sound like this terrifying figure.
Yes.
See, Loki's fear works so much better. But he was afraid of He Who Remains, not Kang. He Who Remains is nothing compared to Kang. So Loki's fear kind of works better, but it's just disappointing how this all worked out. It feels like not enough thought was actually put into what's happening and what the threat is. This was basically a movie to, I guess, elevate the MCU. It wasn't to focus on Ant-Man, and they almost got lost. They didn't realise what they wanted. It was either focus on Ant-Man or elevate or explain the threat that's coming. And they got lost in deciding which one. They tried to do both and it just did not work. That was even worse the second time around. To think that money was actually spent to produce and write this is frightening. The CGI for the Quantum Realm just perfectly describes how the people that made this had no idea what they wanted this to be. Now, Ant-Man's arc in this was basically to overcome a pointless flaw, say that he can't retire, that after everything he's done, even saving the universe, he can't take a back seat. Of course it will help when he's needed, but he's just not looking for danger, and according to Cassie, that's what makes a hero. Wasp was completely sidelined in this. She had no arc or development. She had two parts in this whole thing where the story falls apart without her. The saving Ant-Man from the probability field and coming back for him to stop Kang. That's it. If you take those two parts out, the story kind of follows along without her. She didn't have to be there apart from those two things. To have a title character and then have him only have 2 moments where they're essential for the story is really just laughable. Kang was a good villain. He was powerful and inspired fear like any good villain should. He just should not have been in an Ant-Man film. It undermines his power so much, so I'm really hoping he is a major player in Loki Season 2, because having him versus a Norse god could really fix what this did wrong. I found Cassie very annoying in this. Her whole motivation was to look out for danger and then criticise and look down upon those who don't. She also didn't feel like the Cassie we're familiar with either. It's almost like the writers didn't feel the need to create that connection. MODOK was such a complete waste. He's such a good and powerful villain in the comics, and they just turned him into a complete joke by making him silly. You make MODOK funny by having him be super ugly and grotesque, and then others make fun of him for it. It's that simple. Plus, that chips away at his huge ego, which leaves you with a powerful and competent villain while still providing some comedy. Also, I'm really hating the trend with Marvel currently, where they keep trying to sympathise or turn villains into good guys. MODOK, Abomination, Gore. I really just want some good bad guys. Krylar and the Rebels honestly didn't do enough to have any kind of impact on the story whatsoever. And lastly, this was Janet's story completely. Everyone else was just along for the ride. With that said, that does bring us to the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did enjoy this movie, that is great. I'm happy for you. I'm glad that you could get some enjoyment out of this. I'm just a huge Marvel fan, and to see something that went from so great to what Endgame was, from Iron Man, all of those, to then produce something like this, it's just very disheartening. So yeah, I'll see you in my next video when I'm reacting to Tales of the Jedi Episode 4. See ya!